everyone, and welcome to Talkoffamepod podcast with your host, Kylie Montigney. And today on the Talkoffamepod podcast, we have Lydia Alty, who's a British YouTuber, campaigner, and a member of the D-Day Juniors. She presented on radio stations including Bolt Radiobefore, leaving in early 2022. She was on It News in July 2020, and after talking about her anti-bullying work, she now advocates for anti-bullying and mental health, as well as doing her hobby, which she now announced on YouTube. And her other media work aside, working towards her aspirations. And welcome to Lydia to the show. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Do you know how before we started, we were talking about rain and everything?
Yeah.
It's literally, I don't know if you can hear it at my end, but it literally just started pouring at where I am right now.
Oh, it must have heard us.
I know, right? You must have heard. Once it started, when I was doing the intro, I was like, is this crazy right now? I don't think rainy was even in the weather today, honestly. I don't think it was even in the forecast.
Yeah, sometimes the weather just changes. Sometimes it'll be really sunny here in the UK, and then it'll be just pouring with rain the next day, and you'll be looking outside. It was sunny yesterday. Hailstones today. Where does that come from?
Right? And you just started doing YouTube at the age of 12. When you first started out as a YouTuber, were you embarrassed or scared to tell people that you were a YouTuber, or were you okay, I'm a YouTuber, that's the best thing in the world, and you're just telling everyone?
I mean, that is a good question. I mean, when I started YouTube, I was in this country. I was in year 7, which I don't know what grade that is in your country, but it's 12 is the age range of year 7. And at first, I didn't really tell people because I've obviously been bullied before. So I just thought, we'll keep it a little bit of a secret. And then people obviously found it, and people were some people were accepting of it. I would say some people were like, oh, that's great, you do YouTube, that's cool. And then were giving me ideas. But some people weren't that happy about it and started being rude. But other than that, I think most people were quite accepting, but I kept it on the lower bit. And then till I got a little bit more confident on the camera and stuff like that.
It stinks the way people just being negative in terms of what you do. That's how it is for me as well, because some people will be really happy for me that I'm doing this, and the other end there's people being really negative about it. And it's
I think what you do is amazing.
Right? And I just don't know why people have to be so negative about what we're passionate about is my question. Is that why do people have to be so negative about what we're doing in life? It's kind of me saying to you, why the heck do you do YouTube, for example,
Yeah.
So it's it seems like people kind of have to be like that.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think what you're doing is amazing, so keep up the good work. You're doing amazing.
You too. I really like your work though. Everything you're doing, you started everything at 12 years old, before I did. I started everything at 14 years old, and it's dude, I'm just I applaud you for everything, because you start at 12 years old, and not a lot of people do things at such a young age. And it's just amazing that you're just doing this already. You're 18, and you're doing this for, I think you said 5 years, right?
Yeah, 5 years, yeah.
Yeah, it's just I think you're doing amazing things, especially with being so young. It's very much rare to see people at such a young age doing amazing things.
Thank you very much. It means a lot.
Of course. And when you first started out, what content did you kind of create when you first started?
So when I first started my channel, I have 2 channels now. I've obviously diversified into 2 channels. When I started, I just had the one channel, and it started out as just a drawing video. I didn't really show my face a lot. I was kind of discreet with what the identity was. So my channel is called now Lydia, but it was called Lydia Salty's Drawings, which obviously I changed it as I got older because I thought it was it needs a bit of a mix up, But when I was younger, it was just drawing videos, showing my talent of drawing, which I don't have anymore, sadly. So yeah, it started off as that.
Ooh, drawing videos? Did you have a passion for drawing? For me,
when I was little,
young, I loved drawing. That's the only thing I did.
when I was little, I liked drawing, but I feel like I lost talent for it after year 7. I was like, because we take GCSEs, which like high school exams in this country, which most countries do. And I was like, nah, I don't want to take art. No, just not good
So
at
like your
stick
passion
drawing.
kind of like switched from artistic in drawing terms to like not.
Yeah, it just changed a little bit. Yeah.
And like, what type of like family friendly challenges do you typically post? Like do you like do all these like fun challenges like crazy, or is it kind of like low key challenges where people can like be safe at the same time?
I mean, I used to do like quite a lot of like pranks on my younger brother, who's obviously 12 now, so he doesn't really like that kind of stuff anymore. But I used to do quite a lot of pranks. They were like, like scaring my brother, that kind of stuff. Then when he grew out of that, I didn't want to do that anymore. I've moved on to like vlogs and stuff like that, which is just vlogging daily life, just not every day, but occasionally when I go out places, I'll go and vlog like, I don't know, the beach or something. But yeah. Basically what I did do with the challenges was I did stuff like bottle flip challenges, sort of like low key challenges. Didn't really do stuff like up there with really dangerous challenges. And more like family friendly little challenges. I think over lockdown we did a was like a homemade Olympics challenge. That was a really fun challenge.
Yeah, like I feel like when the pandemic happened, I feel like we like I noticed that we've done a lot of pranks on each other since we were stuck at home. Like, did you like
Yeah.
take advantage of that when like the pandemic started, like on doing pranks on your family?
I took advantage of it because my brother was quite young over lockdown, so I was like, time to rip up his schoolwork.
Like, did you actually rip out his schoolwork? Like, did you?
I ripped up his homework, not his schoolwork. I didn't go that cruel.
Like, I would actually do the exact same thing as a prank. I'd be like, sneak into his room, grab his things, and make sweet, like, do things, put it on his bed, pretend like the dog ate it. Like, it's
Yeah.
the pretend that you'll probably, it's like very good to do young kids since they're so young, but it's very, very hard to actually do people that are like older in like high school, middle school. Like,
Yeah.
basically, if you do it, people in high school, or like as an adult, like they'll figure it out. Like, okay, well, Lydia did this to me, not the dog.
Yeah, the pranks don't really work on him anymore. There's so many of them. He's like, I know this is a prank.
I love how you can like figure it out already since he's like got it a million times. I just like how you just like already figure it out.
Yeah, he only figured it out like when he hit 10. He was like, no, I figured it out now. It's you all the time.
Like, did he ever like prank you at the end of the day since you keep pranking him, or is it kind of like I'm just like, just keep getting worse if I do it a tour?
I mean, he did the ignoring prank on me, ignored me for an entire day and just didn't speak to me at all. I was like, Harry, can I have the remote control? He's like, do you hear something? I was like, no, it's me.
That's literally something I would do though, since like I literally, as growing up, I would literally try to ignore my family for a day, and it wouldn't work because I hate not talking to my family.
They'd be like, where I see you there, don't ignore me.
Yeah, they're like, why not speaking? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I would just give it up. Like, I just like, such a bad liar and a bad person. Like, I'm just like, whenever I lie, don't speak, I'm like, I can't take it anymore. Like, this is bad. But
Yeah.
like since like you're living in the UK, like, do you like the royal family? Are you a fan?
Yes, I do quite a lot of stuff about the royal family. I have that actually brings me on to my next thing. I said earlier I diversified into another channel. I've got Lydia A and Royal Reporter Lydia, so I do a lot of reporting on the royal family in the country. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Like for me, like I literally am the biggest royal family fan that like my mom literally bought me a Queen Elizabeth bobblehead a couple years ago when she went to England. And I was literally woke up early in the morning, watched Charles' coronation. And
It
watch
was
all
amazing.
I know it was amazing. Like, would you rather Camilla or Diana as queen? I want to ask you.
I mean, I don't think any of us were like born when she, sadly passed away, and when she was actually married to Charles. So all I've ever known is King Charles and Queen Camilla being married. I don't know anything different. I mean, I think Diana, if she was alive, she would have been an absolutely incredible queen. But sadly, it didn't really, sadly she passed away. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I like them both in their different ways. There's some things I don't like about some of them. I mean, I can't really comment about Diana because obviously none of us were, around when she, sadly died. But I don't know. I would have to say, I don't know. I mean, I like them both the same, to be honest. I mean, I work for a charity that supports Princess Diana, but I also respect Camilla because she works really hard. So that's a really hard question to sort of differentiate between the two.
Yeah, like I feel like I know like a lot of people like wish like after Queen Elizabeth passed away, it would skip over Charles and go to William. And like I honestly kind of thought that like, oh, it'll probably be better to go straight to William because of Charles's age, like he's getting older. But I know with Charles, like he's been waiting to be king since he was very young. So I'm like, I want him to be king, but on the other side, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of different. I mean, he's in his 70s now, so people obviously were like, well, he's older now, he's going to be under a lot of stress, and he's like, but at the same time, I feel like he should get his time to be king because he's been waiting since like the day he was born. So he's obviously been destined to be king. And I mean, he's an incredible king. He's done a lot for this country, charity wise. He does a lot for nature. I feel like he's going to change the way the royal family works because he's sort of like, sorry, excuse me. Sorry about that. So yeah, no, yeah, he does a lot for our country. He does a lot of nature stuff, and a lot of. I think he'll change the monarchy. I think he'll be like promoting more nature stuff, which I think is quite good.
Definitely. It's like I feel like Charles's work is kind of like similar to kind of Harry's work he does, like when he was in the royal family and after the royal family.
Yeah, one thing I would do miss about Prince Harry is when he did the Invictus Games. I thought that was amazing.
Oh yeah, that like the videos and stuff he did, like when he was part of the royal family was actually hilarious. And like I don't know if you've seen this, but there's like a video of like it's not part of the game, so there's like a video of Harry and William running in a race with people around them. And like I had to find that video, but it's like it's both of them running for a race, and I'm like, oh my god, like that literally reminds me of the race Diana and Harry did when Harry was young, and basically Diana was wearing a dress and basically ran even though she couldn't, and ran because she was her son wanted her to do it.
Yeah, I mean, she was an incredible mother. She was to her children, so she'd do anything. She'd walk barefoot.
Yeah, she'll literally do anything besides her having a title and being married to the next king or queen of the UK. Like she literally has like the sweetest heart of gold you'll ever see.
Yeah, she did a lot for the community, and I think as much as people were like, we're looking at King Charles, who's now King Charles, a lot because he went away on ships. Diana stayed with the children, but now it's obviously sadly Diana's not here anymore. I feel like Camilla is also trying to be that wife who's going out, and she's always really supportive. I see her always. I feel like she's such a lovely woman because she does respect her role. She does do quite a lot with King Charles. She does do a lot for the people. She's never talking about herself. She's always talking about other people. She's opened a book club in this country for children that disadvantaged. I feel like she's also got heart of gold, and people have obviously warmed up to her quite a lot, which I'm actually glad about because she deserves respect. She's an amazing woman. So yeah.
Right. And like I just feel like a lot of people are hating on her for things she didn't do. And I feel like people think like, oh, like she's a bad person. She took Charles away from Diana, blah blah blah. And like it's technically, from my perspective, not her fault. It was Charles' decision. And Charles made bad mistakes when his relationship with Diana. But in the end, people do make mistakes, and technically it's really not Camilla's fault in the whole end of their marriage. It really was up to Charles and the way he wanted to save his marriage and leave it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they divorced, and then, obviously that was very sad. I mean, obviously I wasn't here when that happened, but I've always looked up to Camilla. I've always looked up to Diana. I mean, I love them both the same. I think they're both amazing people.
They definitely are. And like, who's like your favorite like royal family member, whether they're like live or passed away? I
I
know this.
mean, I think my most favorite still has to be the late Queen. Like, I feel like she was just an icon. She was incredible. She did so much work. I mean, I know a couple of my friends went to, watch her Platinum Jubilee. I mean, she just was the most respectful. She was also so many people have met her. She was really lovely. And obviously, King Charles is like obviously her son, so he's obviously really kind, really loving. And I feel like my second favorite has to be Prince Louis. He's just got
Oh,
that character. He's just got
right?
that character.
Like he literally, like I literally like during like it was Kate and the whole family were at these games. I just love how his whole personality was at the game. And like I'm the same
Yeah.
exact way. My favorites had to be Queen Elizabeth. I can tell people could probably tell my favorite is Queen Elizabeth based off the bobblehead story a bit ago that I talked
Yeah.
about. And my other would probably be Princess Diana or Princess Kate. Because like they're just
Yeah.
all like amazing and they're all like so sweet and kind and all lovely. And like fun fact, my mom literally promised me to take me to the UK before Queen Elizabeth died and just take
Mm.
me to the UK, and that never happened. So like now
Mm.
I went to the UK to visit like when Queen was alive, but things happen for a
Yeah.
reason, you know what I mean? But still, like it's not about visiting when the Queen's there. It's all about like living her legacy and
Yeah.
she just did
100%.
like
Yeah.
amazing things as queen through like all 90 years of life. Like she wasn't designed to be even queen. Like she wasn't supposed to be queen. But then
Mm.
once her uncle like kind of resigned, her dad went to throne and then like it was all like history, like history wrote
Mm.
from there. And she was like probably the youngest queen ever in the UK. And all around
Yeah.
the I think she was like the youngest queen at like I think how old was she? Like she like 19 or something, early 20s. I forget. She was very
19, I think she was either 19 or 21, I think I'm trying to
yeah, it was like
remember.
late tens, early 20s, I know. But
Hmm.
like was like trooping the color this morning?
Yes, that was Trooping the Colour today. It was the celebration of in the November is a terrible month to do anything because it just rains and snows and well, it doesn't snow, but it sleets. So we base it in this country as a tradition where if the monarch's birthday is in a winter month, they celebrate it in June. And obviously the Queen had hers in June because her birthday was in April, and you can't really do it in April in this country because the weather's just disgusting. So it's always been in June, and people are thinking that this might be the last Troop in the Colour because the next two monarchs, next two heirs, Prince William and his son Prince George, both have July and June birthdays. So I think this will be one of the last Troop in the Colours, which will be really sad because it is a good celebration. Whether they'll turn it into something else, maybe in June for George, I don't know, but we'll probably be, 90, 80 years old by then. So
Yeah, like I'm sure like they'll do something in terms of trooping the color for William, George, and Louis, since they're all like next in line to the throne, and Charlotte. I'm been dying to actually see Charlotte be queen. I don't think it's ever gonna happen, but it's like I'm like kind of dying to see her as queen now.
yeah, she's very, I don't know what she is. She's just, especially on the balconies. I don't know if you saw any of the pictures. She just knows how to act. She's always like, I mean, I think personally, little George, who's turning 10 in July, he is incredible. He was incredibly nervous, or he was very good at the coronation. I feel like he's got more confident. I don't know if you've seen any of the
Yeah.
videos, but I feel like he's got more involved in stuff. He's got more confident. They've recently just changed school, the children, so I feel like as George has gone up the years in school, I feel like it's given him a lot of independence. And I think that's quite good, especially as he is the, heir to the throne.
Yeah, right. And like there's like a video from like the Queen's funeral with Charlotte and George. I remember seeing a video of Charlotte slapping George's hand and be like, bow, you have to bow. And like she said
Yeah,
something about that. And I was like, oh my God, she's like so confident, knows what she's doing, and like she's like kind of like bossing like her older brother, even though he probably knows what to do.
Yeah, she is completely like the boss.
Right? Like I feel like she does good stuff from Kate. Like Kate is like knows what she's doing as well. Like she's honestly has the biggest heart in the world. Like she's so pretty and amazing that's like I feel like she like got it all from Kate from some reason. I feel like she always got it from Kate.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, yeah, I mean, Princess Charlotte apparently copies Princess Kate in all of her, outfits and stuff like that. So I feel like that is one of her idols.
Definitely. And like I wanted to switch over to like Lydia Entertainment. Like what can you tell us more about like that and why you started it?
So Lydia Entertainment was obviously started as an entertainment business. It's a very small little entertainment business. It takes a couple of YouTubers, vloggers, models, that kind of stuff. I would take a couple of gamers. Sorry, it's a fly. It takes a couple of gamers as well. It was started up by me and a couple of other people, a little team. And it was basically as an aim, because I obviously was an anti-bullying ambassador. I wanted to help other people. That's generally what I want to do. It's like a future career. It's people, as well as doing radios, like hobbies and stuff like that. I wanted to help other people, perhaps like work in the NHS or something like that. But for me, I wanted to start my helping other people with doing something. Another thing I was passionate about. And another thing I'm passionate about is, helping people create content, stuff like that, for whether they do it as a hobby, because obviously I do it as a hobby, but other people do it as jobs. So I said, well, I do it as a hobby, but I can help you with your job if you want. But yeah, I've had a couple of people come up that, we've had some opportunities where they've got to promote books and, got paid opportunities. So I think that was the main thing, just to help people have those, like a little taste of what, they can get in this industry, but not, it's not like a sub for sub, all that stuff where you try and like grow people's channels like that. It's not really that. It's more to give people an insight into the industry, let them have opportunities, just give them something to like, base what they want to do on, and just, generally just help people.
Right? That's literally awesome. Like that you and your friends started that. Like I know like with the world today, it's really, really much needed for people that are starting out entertainment to kind of really promote their business and really kind of show their craft, even though it might be like a paid or non-paid thing. I think it's like very important to kind of like really show like your craft and what you do, no matter if you're in your teens, a kid, or adult. Like it's very important to actually start something like this so you can really show your craft and start things from really basically start things that are much smaller than you expected.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want it to be like one, because I've been part of a couple of entertainment businesses before, and I feel like they're all I feel like personally, because I'm part of agency, stuff like that, and the agency I'm part of at the moment is absolutely incredible. But there have been agencies in the past that I've been with that aren't that very good. They're all about looks, all about this, all about that, and it's sort of like confiding people to look perfect to get. You don't have to look perfect to have to be in an industry which is already competitive. You're making more competition by just slimming out the people that look the same. Why would you want people to look the same? You want to go into an industry with people with lots of different abilities, whether they have a disability or a facial difference. You want people to go into that industry, and you want people that are different, because I feel like when I see someone on the television, obviously I'm not going into the television industry, but some people do go into the television industry, and they say, well, I can't do it because I have this. Well, you can bring it to the table. People should be, I mean, I love watching shows where it's just different people with different abilities. It makes the show more interesting. And otherwise all these people with just slap makeup on their face and saying, hi, my name is, I don't know what their name is, but they could just be called whatever they want, and in the show. And it's really boring, and that's why I also wanted to help bring in people that, felt like they were getting rejected by these, entertainment businesses because they didn't look the part, or they weren't perfect, or they had a disability, and wants to bring people into this entertainment industry. And although mine is not a massive thing, they're not going to get a BBC deal, but they will get like a little bit of a taste of what it's like, and make them feel more confident as well, because it's sort of like a supportive business. So
yeah, that is so much need, because like when like with especially entertainment, like people get so much rejection that they literally like stop doing what they're doing because of how many no's they're getting. And that's why we need more things like Lydia Entertainment, because like we need more things to actually take people in when they're actually getting no's all the time, and they need more yeses and actually no's, because like when they get yeses, they get more confidence in themselves and in their craft.
Yeah, I feel like that because you need encouragement because you know, people all the time, you know, they go through phases in life, they go, well, I can't do this, I can't do that. Well, if you can't do it and you don't do it, how do you know you can do it? So I always like, people don't need to have like a resume to come into mine, or, you know, it's all just about like accepting people. You know, all they have to do is write a line into the email and just say, you know, I want this, I would like this, I'd like some experience, you know, can we, you know, and I'm always opening the door as long as, you know, they're nice people. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's always good to take the risk. Like you do not know if you're gonna get it until you try. The worst thing you can get is a no. Like it's okay to get a no. At least like the most important thing you took away out of that thing is at least you tried and reached out, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I've done that a number of times, got loads of no's, and I'm actually glad I got no's because then I've just ended up with something I actually prefer better. So
Yeah, I'm the same way. Like I'm like I send like millions of emails and I got millions of no's, but I'm like, this is what life looks like, doesn't it? Like like it does. Like I
yeah,
just feel like if you get no's, and it's like turns out for the better, I feel.
yeah, that's definitely true. Yeah.
And like, do you just cover like entertainment things in Lydia Entertainment, or do you cover like sports, royal family, etc.?
So it obviously started out as just my channel, my younger brother's channel. Obviously, he's you know, 12 going on 13, so he's more like on the side of, he's more into like musical instruments, that kind of stuff. So he might go away from YouTube, or he might not. I don't know. That's up to him. No, but basically, it started off with just me and my little brother. It's obviously diversified into a couple of other people. We've got actors, got a couple of people that come in for like gaming. We've got an adult department run by a couple of people, and obviously we've got the royal department, which obviously helps you know, record all the stuff that I do. Because obviously I can't do everything because the royal family are all out everywhere, and I'm sometimes in school and I'm like, I can't do that. But no, yeah, it just a couple of those, you know, things, and it's sort of like it's not massive, but it's got like a small amount of people in it in different departments. So that's quite cool.
Right? And like I feel like the biggest news that are that you cover is basically comes out when you're in school or you're out or something. It always comes
Yeah,
out when you're visiting.
100%.
I'm like,
Like
are
I
you?
came back from school.
Oh yeah, and
Sorry,
like
Karen.
it like makes it so much better if you're home and you can just cover it immediately, like type into something and post it. Like I
Yeah, I
see,
mean that's
I feel
happened.
like most of this happens when you're not home or you're busy.
Yeah, that 100% happened when it was William and Kate's you know, 10th anniversary. I came home. There's a really lovely video of the family. I was like, that was posted 4.5 hours ago. I was the last person, literally one of the last people in my group chat to see. I was like, that's great.
And like, how did you like become a member of like the D-Day Juniors?
Yeah, so basically, with the D-Day Juniors, obviously I was like a massive fan of them because they went on this talent show. Obviously, I don't know if in America you've heard of America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
Basically, in the UK we have something called Britain's Got Talent, although a lot of Americans come on here, which is really cool. And then obviously a lot of British people go onto that show, so it's really cool. So it's like a mix up. Um, but no, they were on that show, and obviously I've been you know, a fan of their older counterparts, which are the D-Day Darlings. They're actually incredible. So it's like a wartime troupe, which basically honour the people that, you know, fought for our freedom, fought for the things we have today. And basically, I just got an email and they said, "Would you like to help out with, you know, be a social media junior?" And I said, "Wow, that'd be incredible." So I took the opportunity, and now I'm part of their group doing all their social stuff. So it's really cool.
Ooh, like, that's actually amazing. Like, to do like their social media stuff and to add that to your resume and for future experiences, like to work with that something big, just do social media. But social media, like if you do make content for a living, yeah, it's like kind of like easy peasy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And like you advocate for anti-bullying and mental health. Like, did you ever like suffer from bullying and mental health throughout your 18 years?
So obviously I did, like, I'm obviously an advocate for anti-bullying. When I was 10, 11 years old, I got bullied in school for, like, the way I look, all that kind of stuff, and people would, like, not be friends with me and, like, leave me out of, like, all the stuff that they did at school, like games. And obviously in secondary school they just left me outside, like making me pages of me when it got on social media. Mental health, I haven't really had any mental health sort of problems myself, but I have had a couple of friends that have had mental health issues, and I've seen how much it affects them, and I wanted to advocate for it because mental health is really important. And if you don't have you need to support people with mental health, because mental health is just as important as physical health. So
You're exactly right. Like mental health and bullying don't be oftentimes taken seriously as it should be. Like for me, I've dealt with bullying and mental health things all my life. I dealt with anxiety and depression growing up. And like even like when you see your friends dealing with that, like you just feel awful and don't know what to do. And like all you can do is really be there for them, like when they're going through that. And like me, sometimes you just feel like, oh, what can I do to help them? Or help other people are doing it, and like to really advocate for people around the world, not just in UK, is really much important. I feel like we need more people to actually advocate for that because it's such an important matter that people should talk about more.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely something we should all talk about. I feel like schools also need to support more as well. There's not really that basis that children actually do. There's something to think it's under the carpet, but it really doesn't do that.
Definitely. And like I want to thank you so much, Lydia, for coming on the podcast. I'm sure
It's been a pleasure.
Listening definitely took advantage of this episode and learning more about UK and the royal family and everything you're doing. Like your work that you're doing is so important, and I really applaud you for doing all this work you're doing. And thank you everyone for listening. And I hope everyone enjoyed this episode, and I'll see everyone next episode of the podcast. Thank you so much, Lydia.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Have a great rest of your day, Lydia.
You too. Thank you very much for your time. It's been amazing.
Of course. Have a great rest of your day. You're amazing.